Hey there, YouTube. It's me, Miss Cris. I know recently I'm going to put a lot of crochet stuff up, but I'm going to start vlogging about my weight loss journey. Gosh, I'm trying to think of how I should start these. I mean, it's a matter of just jumping in, isn't it? I think I should start out by telling a little bit of history about myself and my weight. I will be sharing numbers, so it's a little embarrassing. But hopefully, I know that there's a really good weight loss community here on YouTube, and I'm hoping to find some of those people and find that support. I do continue to blog and track my food and my nutrition on Spark People, but that's going to be part of my plan that I reveal to you as I go through the journey. I think I'm just going to do my tags up here as just weight loss, or maybe journey, or I don't know. But I hope to be doing these at least weekly, if not closer to daily, because I do find, when a person becomes obese, morbidly obese, which I was, there are a lot of emotional issues that drive that. And it's hard to deny it. It's just something that's there. Yes, overeating and not exercising are the primary cause, but I have to look at the emotional reasons as to why I don't, or to why I know this, but yet I continue to eat, dealing with a food addiction and things like that. But that's a lot of information for my first video. Now, I have put weight loss videos up on my YouTube channel before, and it's kind of funny. If you go back, it's like you see this ballooned Miss Cris, and then I started losing a lot of weight, and I got down to the 230s last year, and I did this, I actually did a really good video about my food, my nutrition with having lost weight. And I'm glad I did that video, because I can look back and I can see myself at 230 and like that person. Now, I know 230 sounds like a lot, and I'm still heavy at 230. I'm still overweight. I'm not obese anymore. But please consider I am 5'9", and I am of Viking descent. I am not a fragile, tiny little boned female. I have a very large bone structure. So it's kind of hard to see in video a size reference, but my goal weight is and always has been about 180 pounds. When I was 160 pounds back in the day, I actually looked skeletal. So 160 is just too small for me. I know for my height, the recommended weight is 140 to 180. I definitely need to be at the higher end of that because of my bone structure. I just am a larger female structure-wise. Now, I don't have to be fat on top of it. But if I could get to 200, I think I would still be happy. But 180 truly is my goal weight. I may have to get to 200 and then at that point have excess skin removed to achieve that last 20 pounds, because I was morbidly obese. Now I'm just obese. So a quick story. I'm dead serious about this. I can't even believe I'm putting the numbers out there. It's very embarrassing. It's very hard. Of course I want to keep this professional, because I am in a profession, where you want to be business, you want to be professional, but I do think if I'm hiding the numbers, then it becomes less valid for me. I also think it will help other people out there who may be morbidly obese, who are trying to lose weight. It's very hard. So I'm going to be as honest as I can. So I was on again, off again chubby when I was a kid. Pretty much thin until I hit high school, maybe late middle school, and then I really chubbed up. And it's because I stopped playing sports and I went to academic teams. And then at that point, I did get chubby, but at 16, I got a boyfriend, and I did lose weight, and I got to a point to where it wasn't overly healthy. And then I went to college. In my first year in college, I lost even more weight. I did not gain the freshman 15. I lost it. And that's when I went down to the 160 and wasn't looking too healthy. I had actually gone home one weekend, and my mother asked me if I was sick, because it just didn't look like me. You know, my jaw was sticking out. It just was not a good look for me. And I think it was just schedule. I was working 2 part-time jobs to help pay for my books. Not eating, and then of course, you know, I wanted to go to a couple parties, and then I would dance because I love to dance, and I just burned the calories. It's just how it was. So then in '97, I got married, and I went from climbing 3 to 4 flights of stairs several times a day at school to a desk job. So my activity level decreased, but we did live in an apartment where there was a gym. So my husband and I did go to the gym together, just not as much. So I gained some weight. I went back up to about 185, and I still looked fine. I mean, there was nothing wrong. I still looked healthy. And then I went a little over 200, and I still looked okay. And then, I got pregnant. And when my son was born, I did not gain a lot of weight with each pregnancy. In fact, when I left, when I left the hospital with the children, I was at my pre-pregnancy weight. But unfortunately, my pre-pregnancy weight was up, and then with the second baby, it was up more. So, and then after I had the second, you know, bouts of depression, and I do have anxiety disorder, so there was a couple mental illnesses that I struggle with. That, and then I lost my dad, and my weight, it just kept getting bigger. I was already big, but I kept getting bigger, and that, you know, and it was such a gradual growth. I don't even know how to say it, but it was almost like it was not noticeable, because, and I know I've heard it a million times before, and I don't think that there's a such thing as a healthy fat, but I was active. You know, I could not climb 2 to 3 flights of stairs. But getting up and walking 2 or 3 miles, or going shopping all day, or playing with the kids, none of that was a hassle. I didn't feel it because it was in short bursts. But if you did ask me, I know I could not run a mile. It was just not physically possible for me. Even though it's just, I didn't know that I was unhealthy fat, because what I did do was not hindered, if that makes sense. So I gained all this weight, and my top weight was 325 pounds. I got very, very big. And I don't even know what it was. I genuinely don't. But January 10th of 2010, I made a decision that I was going to lose weight. And I did. At that point, though, 325 was my largest weight. And then I left a very toxic work environment. It was not good for me or my health. And then when I left there, I lost like 20 pounds in a matter of 2 months. You know, there was constant food there. There was the stress of the job because it was a high-stress position. There were some personality conflicts that existed. It was not a good work environment on many different levels. So when I left there, I dropped like 20 pounds in a matter of just a couple of months, which was pretty big. I didn't even try. I think that was like the craziest thing, is I didn't even try. And I thought, hey, look at me, look how awesome I am. Well, then at that point, it's kind of when I decided, hey, if I lost 20, I could keep going. So I started my weight loss journey on January 10th of 2010. I noted it and started at 301 pounds. I rounded it down to 300. I was like, whatever. So it was 300 pounds, and I'm like, what am I going to do? So that night, I hopped up on the treadmill, and I tried to walk a mile. I am going to walk a mile. I'm going to do it. And when I got to a quarter mile, I was crying. It hurt so bad. That's when I realized really how out of shape I was. And I was only walking at 2.5 miles an hour. You know, nothing major. And I couldn't do it. I don't even remember how far I got, but I'm pretty sure I did not do the whole mile, and I felt really bad because I couldn't. And I kind of felt bad, like, how could I let myself get that bad? And that's just how it was. So most of the time I'd say that I would have given up, but for some reason in 2010 I did not give up. I got on the treadmill again the next day, and then I started having pain in my legs, and that's when the man had said, maybe you have shin splints. And I'm like, crap, well, I am walking in some really crappy shoes. So we went out. I rested for about a week to let my shins kind of heal up. I went and bought some tennis shoes. I still have them today, called the Mum Magic shoes. Hot back up on the treadmill, and it still hurt like a booger, but not like it did. It was a different pain. And then I wasn't sure what I was going to do after that. And about later in January, I ran into a coworker at work who had already lost a lot of weight. Not like hundreds, but she probably lost 30 or 40 pounds. And she mentioned the Couch to 5K program, so I looked it up and I thought, can I run? I'm like a 300-pound woman. Should I be running? And I thought, hell, why not? And then came a lot of lessons with that. How to run. Apparently I ran funny, so I wasn't getting the best. I don't know. I wasn't getting the most for my step. So I don't even know how to say that. But I learned how to run. And I ran. And I think I did 6 5K races that year. At the 3-month mark, I had lost 50 pounds. I was already down to 250. After that, down to November-ish, I think. It took me a lot longer to lose that next 20 pounds. All in all, I guess I lost 70, 89, 95 pounds. I was 5 pounds from losing 100 from my top weight, which is a big deal. And then, unfortunately, this year came. And a lot went on, personal. We had a lot of issues with our old house, and then there were some issues with our old house's landlord, and we had to move. Not because we did anything wrong. That was not our issue. It was our landlord that had their own issues. And we made a decision that we just needed to get out and buy a house, hence why we are now in this house. My school semesters were a lot harder, especially this fall semester, the one I just finished. Those were very rough. At that point, I was basically working 2 full-time jobs, going to school full-time, and raising the family because I had the internship, and then I tossed in the comprehensive exam just so I could graduate. I didn't have time because when you're so big, weight loss becomes a full-time job. It genuinely does. It just becomes a full-time job. So I couldn't do it all. And I stopped. And I stopped before, like probably 8 months ago, 9 months ago, and I started gaining weight. And with my schedule, I started eating out more, and I gained more weight. And then with my schedule, I couldn't exercise as much, and I started gaining weight. And then some depression kicked in because I was gaining weight. That's another issue when you're facing depression. And you're a triggered emotional eater. When you're depressed, you eat, and then you get more depressed because you're eating, which causes you to eat more. And it seems like it's a really easy cycle that you can stop. But unfortunately, it's not for most people. You have to be able to identify it, work through it, adjust, and learn how to handle stress differently. And I did that to a point, but not completely. There are still things that I need to work through. And I gained weight, and I feel really bad for it. And it's like licking my wounds coming back and posting this up here. After I'd done this one video where I looked really good when I did my nutrition video. And then to look at I'm looking at myself in the camera because I'm in disbelief that I allowed 230 pounds to slip away and become 288. Yeah. I gained that much back in less than a year, and it's really upsetting to me. But I know that I can do it, and I know that I could do it on my own. I didn't take any pills before. I can do it again. In fact, I started yesterday because I had to go to the doctor. They drew blood. Look at that. I have a big old bruise. See that? A huge knot under there, too. I don't know what she did. So had to go to the doctor anyway because in the last month I was diagnosed with arthritis, She thinks I had it. It just never flared up. My body was used to being bigger. Then I lost all this weight, and my hip got used to being smaller, and then I quickly piled all this weight back on it, and it flared up. So she thinks, with some weight loss, it would help. And I'm like, you know what? I need to do it anyway. Not offended. I just need to do it. So here I am with my arthritic hip. And she tells me, don't. She doesn't think I should be running on it. And I'm thinking that I need to be running. So that's going to be a little bit of a battle. I think I might wait, because I was running before at 300 pounds. I was chugging it. I was a little fat girl running. This time I think I'm going to wait until I'm down a little bit, probably at 250, just because of my hip. But I'm going to try to just do fast power walking, maybe even a slight jog, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to have to play it by ear. But let's see, in 2010 I stopped drinking soda, and I have not had a soda since. I had a taste of soda, gosh, and it tasted disgusting, so not my interest. What I need to be doing is packing my lunches for work and cooking at home. Patting on myself on the back, I am an exquisite cook. I didn't get fat being a bad cook. That's for sure. So I use Spark People, and I use Spark recipes, and I have spent so much time in 2010 modifying my personal recipes to be healthier, and so that is going to be my goal. To be using those recipes, converting more recipes, and really just making my kitchen a healthy zone. And it's very helpful because everybody in the household enjoys that kind of food. The kids are thankful to have fresh fruits and vegetables, which, by the way, other than canned tomato sauce and canned soup, my children have not had canned foods. I'm trying to think. They don't eat tuna. So I eat canned tuna. I use some canned soups for cooking, and tomato paste and tomato sauce. Corn, green beans, all that we buy frozen or fresh. Flat out. That helps knock the sodium down for anybody. And I am hypersensitive to sodium. Honestly, I lost 3 pounds between yesterday and today. This morning when I weighed in, I was at 285. I'd already lost 3 pounds. I know it was all sodium. There's no way eating one lunch and one dinner at home was 3 pounds worth. But, so I'm hypersensitive to sodium, so I had to cut as much of it out as possible. Gosh, this video is going on 20 minutes. This may be one of my longest non-tutorial type videos. Crazy. And all I just want to do is give you a little overview of my journey. I will be posting more. I'm thinking of making Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, something like that, my weight loss video. I'm going to try to put them up a couple more. But yeah, I hopefully, I am a pound watcher. I sometimes get attached to my scale just a little much. But yeah, I don't know. I've already shared my weight. I'm now 285 as of this morning. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be a little smaller. If I'm a lot smaller, I'll let you know. But I definitely know I can't be here at this weight. I'm not happy at this weight. In fact, I am miserable at this weight. I know logically, I mean, now I have a public health degree and I look like this. I know that I can't be here and be happy and be healthy and be sane. I have to lose weight. I know what it feels like to be healthy, and I know what it feels like when I'm done running a 5K, and it feels pretty damn good. So I'm hoping that if I'm putting this out for everybody else to see, I'm ashamed that I allowed myself to get here, but since I'm here, I might as well share the journey and help anybody else out there who is trying to lose weight, who feels depressed because of their weight, who feels it's useless once you get so big. And there are people way bigger than me that lose hundreds of pounds. All I have to lose is what? 145? To be 180. 145 total from 325. So I'm already partially there. I already started my journey in 2010, and it's good that I'm picking up now before I'm well over 325 pounds. And I guarantee that if I didn't stop, and think about it, I would go over 325 pounds. But I can't let it. I cannot be here for the rest of my life. I need to be smaller for myself. Alright, that video turned out really, really long, and I'm apologetic. If you made it this far, thanks. But I really do hope that you guys stick with me through this, and sorry. Sorry for the 20-minute video. Have a great night, everybody.